that's a vibe. She wanna vibe, that's a vibe. Yeah, that's a vibe. It's a vibe, and that's a vibe. Yeah, that's a vibe. Oh, it's a vibe, and that's a vibe. Yeah, that's a vibe. She wanna vibe, that's a vibe.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in once again to the Manny Hall Show. I have with me Cashe. We're about to get it in. Now listen, I don't know too much about this young lady. Maybe some of you do already, but we're about to really learn some interesting things on her journey and how she got to the place that she's at and all the exciting things that she's about to do. You ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All right, Manny Hall Show, let's go. Peace.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Please tell the people your name and what you do.
My name is Cashe Gregory, and I am a doctor's secretary at University Hospital.
Nice, nice, nice. So let's get into Cashe. What all did you do like on the side? So when you get off work, like what other things are you into? Hobbies, activities, ministry?
Well, I have a bakery. It's based in my home. I've been baking for the last 3 years. I started July of 2015 with that. It's called Cashe Creations.
Nice.
It's named after my 2 daughters. I also just introduced my Beauty Link line, which is a mink lash line for those who love lashes. And lastly, I also lead on Tuesdays, every second Tuesday of the month. I lead the singles ministry at For Real Empowerment Center.
Nice, that's awesome. See, you really should have started with all the other cool things you're doing, like, yeah, so this is what I do, this is where I work. No, you doing your thing, like, that's what's up.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what made you get into baking? Like, did you always have that passion?
I actually, when I was in high school, I did a program for entrepreneurs called eCity. It's still around in some of the Cleveland School District's programs.
Okay.
And with that, I went to Warrensville. So there I was able to learn how to become an entrepreneur, how to buy things whole and sell it at a different price. And I actually started out with selling like Misfilled cookies and things like
nice.
that.
That's what's up.
I didn't know that years later I would actually be making and baking things and selling them.
Yeah,
So
Misfilled cookies used to be so good.
Yes, they were.
Oh my gosh, like they not good for you.
No, not good for you.
But man, they taste so good. I mean, I feel like if you eat like 2 or 3, that's cool. But like I used to like smash, you know what I'm saying? And then
Yes.
the ones used to be in Randall Park Mall.
Yes.
Them big old stupid cookies, like
Real huge.
yeah, like just for no reason. Why was they was so big? Like,
No,
jeez.
soft. I love soft ash cookies. Yes.
Absolutely. All right, so you know, you had like a little bit of this passion in high school, but like let's go all the way back in the day. Were you helping your mom in the kitchen with baking stuff?
Yes. I would help my mom even till today.
Okay.
She's a very great cook, and she bakes also. She makes caramel apple pies and peach cobblers and things like that. So I kind of watch the things she do, and I incorporate it within my business now. Sometimes I ask for her hand and assistance to help me with some of my products. If I have like a large order or something like that, she'll come in and help me with that.
Yeah, I feel like I got the munchies right now since you talking about all this food. Like, I'm like thinking like cookies, pies, you know, and it's like I love peach cobbler because I feel like it's so raw that it got its own name. Like it's blueberry pie, it's apple pie, but like somebody was like, no. This is not peach pie, this is peach cobbler.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's like just the way you make it, it's a little bit different than like an apple pie.
Yeah.
But it's like it just goes so hard though.
Fulfilling, yes.
Yeah. Like in any, it doesn't matter if it's somebody's birthday, Christmas, Easter. You can, it's like, it's okay.
You can just do it whenever.
Yeah. So why did your mom never think about doing the business?
She actually has been thinking about it.
Okay.
And we've been working on it. She's more so not into the baking,
Gotcha.
but she wants to do like hot foods. She loves the Food Network, so she, watched how to do different burgers and make different chicken meals and stuff like that. So that's more of the speed that she's trying to go in.
Okay.
So that's what we're working on for her.
So is it true that if you're a really good baker, then you can't cook that well, and vice versa?
No.
So
I can do both.
You like, no, because I hold it down.
Yeah, because I can do both.
Okay, that's what's up. Because, it's like you see people, it's like the person at work always bringing the cookies and the pies, but then they'll never really bring nothing to the potluck. Because just like, they're like, I don't really want to mess with that.
Right. So, no, I can do both.
Okay.
My favorite things to make is like steaks, loaded potatoes, things like that. So I love homemade buffalo wings.
Okay.
Make my own little hot
sauce. So you make your own hot sauce. How? I mean, don't tell us the recipe, but I'm intrigued.
Putting a couple hot sauces together.
Okay.
Red Devil, Red Hot,
You know what I used to really like? I mean, and forgive me, Cashe, we're going to talk about the professional stuff later, but we talking about food, but I'm vibing with you. So I used to really love sriracha.
Okay.
And now I don't like it no more. It's like the only thing I really stick with is Red Hot.
Okay.
And I used to have Red Devil. I'm not against Red Devil, but this gonna sound funny. But every time I would buy it, I would rip the label off because I didn't want the devil in my
Lord.
So I would rip the thing off. So I was like, nah, devil ain't about to be up in here. So, but it's still so good. So if I had to pick though, it would be between Red Hot and Red Devil.
Yeah, Red Devil is not really as thick. I like to have like a thick sauce on my chicken, so that's why I would go with like Red Hot. The sriracha sauce is good too. I usually get that.
No, Red Hot has that one special kind just made for wings though.
Yeah, they have that too. I've used that also.
Okay.
I've used that also. I didn't try them all.
I feel like you was about to tell us your secret, but then you was like, nah.
No, the sriracha. And I was just saying, like, for sriracha, I usually put that on, like, my Chipotle or Tabasco sauce. Because
it's not really supposed to go with everything.
No, it's not. It's not supposed to go on everything. Like, I personally won't put it on regular chicken, but, like, if it's some grilled chicken, I'll put it on that.
See, and I was telling my wife the other day that, because I just bought some Red Hot. We haven't had any in a minute because we only really been shopping at Trader Joe's. And they don't have no traditional, just straight gutter hot sauce. So I'm like, dang, man, I get everything else from here, but I can't do that or syrup. Like, they have this like real runny syrup that's probably super healthy for you. But I want that straight.
Buttersworth.
Right. Or Aunt Jemima.
Yeah.
I got to have one of them. So anyway. So I finally had this hot sauce, and I was like, man, this Red Hot be so good. I be wanting to just find stuff to put on it. Like some nice Lay's potato chips, some chicken when I ate chicken. Like, I put it on some veggies. Like, Frank's Red Hot is just good.
It really is.
All right, so anyway. All right.
Hot sauce.
Yeah, so, you're doing the ministry.
Yes.
How long you been doing that?
I've been doing this since, I want to say February.
Okay. But you were attending the church for a while before that, right?
Yes. I went there as a little girl. I left for about 2 to 3 years, and then I came back.
Gotcha.
So I've been back since last fall.
And when you say little girl, you saying like teenager or like little?
I was a school age, so I was probably like maybe 8 or 9.
Gotcha. Was it still for real back there?
Yes, it was still for real, but it wasn't for real empowerment center. It was just for real church.
Gotcha. Wow, so you got a nice little history.
Yes.
So what made you want to start working with the singles?
Well, one, I'm single. Two, my pastor, he had, asked me to do it. And because that's the stage I'm in my life right now, it was kind of like a great opportunity to reach out to other singles that are saved and kind of have fun, but incorporate God in it. So I've actually been enjoying doing that.
Gotcha. So how many other, individuals like kind of help with the ministry aspect of it?
Everybody has their part. I try to keep everyone involved as far as different events that we go to, different Bible plans, if they want to, suggest that we do certain games, because we play games sometimes on Tuesdays. If they want to incorporate a certain type of food or meal when we have refreshments on Tuesdays. So I try to keep everyone involved.
Okay, well, let's talk about singleness for a minute.
Okay.
So you probably see sometimes I post stuff about being single, relationships. And, like, why do you think that it's so hard for a young lady like yourself to get in a relationship? Well, let's not say get in one, because that's easy.
Yeah.
But let's say a successful, healthy relationship.
I will say that me personally, I think sometimes the fact that I'm so goal-driven and that I actually know what I want, I think that kind of scares men a lot. So they initially come into a situation with me where they see the things that I'm doing, so they come in talking about that on their own, like saying like that's the things that they're doing. But when we actually get into dating and getting further down into the dating scene of things, that's not really what they're about. So it's kind of like you're being tricked.
Gotcha.
You're being sold a dream. And a lot of times I tell a lot of single women that social media is one of the biggest ways for men to prey on single women.
Gotcha.
And the reason why I say that is because if a man sees that you're about your business, they see that you're in church, they see that you're in a certain career field, they see that you're a great mom, and vice versa. It could happen on men's side as well. But personally speaking, from a female aspect, when that happens, then that's key things for them to engage you with.
Gotcha. So
they come into it making it seem like they're all about going to church. They make it seem like they're family oriented, but that's not really what it is.
Yeah.
So
do you think it's important to ask those questions right from the beginning
yes.
that you want to know?
Yes.
Okay. Because I always tell young ladies and men, like during my talks about relationships, that you got to get those questions out right from the beginning. Because you can't assume that somebody's going to tell you the truth about them.
Exactly.
Like, literally ask, do you have 10 kids? Because if you be like, you got kids, they're going to say, yeah, I got some kids. But then you never knew that they had 10 kids. Because you ain't asked that question.
Right.
So just like, I think as a man, sometimes like we try to be as naive as possible about certain things. Because the fear is she might not like me if she really knows the truth about me.
True.
But it's just like you gotta really be able to expose who you are and allow that man to expose himself, even if you feel like, wow, this is gonna scare him away because I'm asking too many questions. Well, if you asking too many questions is gonna scare him away, then he should be gone out of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, me personally, I feel that a lot of times, like I said, they'll come in and they'll just automatically give you voluntary information. Sometimes they're voluntary lies. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's good. I like that. That's good.
And you have to kind of distinguish or discern sometimes from afar what exactly is the truth and what's not.
Gotcha.
And like I said, social media is one of the key things. I was told that you're not supposed to go through someone's Facebook. It's hard for me because it's like I want to see if...
So why can't you go through their Facebook?
Well, the person was just saying, like, basically you're going into it not trusting. But to me, that's not what it's about. It's like I'm just trying to find out if you're really telling the truth.
Yeah.
I'm learning your history. I'm trying to see who you're hanging around because a picture tells 1,000 words.
Absolutely.
So, I could tell from a picture if you're really into your family, if you're really into your career, or if you're more of a partier. Right,
because like for somebody that says, and I guess I do understand the point to some degree, but for a single woman, you need to do your investigation.
Yes.
Because I feel like it's wisdom, it's information that's free, that's being provided to you by just looking on their page and seeing who they cool with. I don't think it's to the point where you got to be like stalking.
Right.
But I think stalking only comes when you already know this person to some degree, and then now you're trying to find out more information and seeing what they're doing with their life. But starting off, like somebody inbox you, hey, what's your name, blah, 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 I want to get to know you. Okay, Hold up, bruh. Let me look through your stuff real quick. Hey, and what's your Instagram name? Because I typed in your name, but I didn't see it.
Exactly.
So tell me all of that. And then it's like, as you're researching, then you start to see some inconsistencies and be like, okay, so you smoke cigarettes. I don't really dig that.
Right.
You got guns all over the table. I don't dig that. You got 3 or 4 videos that you shared and they just talking super ratchet.
Exactly.
I'm not on that. You know what I'm saying? But then somebody can make the argument, well, that's just your social media page. That's not really them. Like, no, I'm not on that. Like, who you are is who you represent. Like, whatever you posting, that's you.
Mm-hmm. I personally would never post anything that's not me. I'm a funny person.
Mm-hmm.
I love God. I love to have a great time. And you see that on my page.
Right.
You're not being sold one thing on social media and another thing off.
Exactly. Like, one weekend, this is sometimes that really throws me off about girls. No, it's like, if you a thought in real life, okay, be a thought. That's your life. Nobody judging you. You know what I'm saying? But then don't, the next 2 or 3 posts, you talking about God and you was at church or Bible study and you did this. It is not necessarily from the angle of, I'm trying to get right, or, this was just a great quote or scripture. Mm-hmm. But you like, yeah, I love the Lord. I be in church and I'm a minister and doing all of this stuff. But then the next few pictures, you at the club, you really are being a thought, like straight up. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, everybody sees it. And it's like you representing yourself to be somebody that you don't want the world to look at you as. Mm-hmm. But that's all you showing us.
Exactly.
And like you said, I mean, you can't separate and act like, no, this isn't me, but I'm posting this stuff all the time.
Right. Exactly. And that's why I said just be consistent.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with guys. I think with them, it's more so, I can put this on social media and then their argument is, well, that's not really me in real life. I'm just doing it for likes. I'm just doing it for attention.
Right.
But then when you attract people who don't have the same desires as you,
right, then
you're looking crazy and wondering why women are using you or after you for money.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's another thing. I personally have never been the type to go after a guy for finances because I have my own. Gotcha. And I think that's another thing that intimidates guys, when a woman isn't dependent on them. Mm. So I find that a lot to be, something that keeps a relationship from moving on further, because sense. They want to like hang money over your head, or I'll do this for you, like materialistic things to try to stay around, but they don't have the other aspects that comes along with a great relationship.
No, that's real. No, it's like, in reference to like, having your own as a woman, mm-hmm. like, I think that's a touchy subject sometimes, mm-hmm. because it's like, y'all can be like so super independent, but then by the time you get in a relationship, it's like, well, I don't really need, just like, but we married now. We got to work together. It's like, well, I have my own, and this your toothpaste, this mine. Like, we not sharing nothing. I'm good on you. Right. So it's like, how do you balance those things?
Well, I would say this, like, I don't get petty to that extent. Mm-hmm. By me saying that I have my own is, a lot of men encounter women who are after them for financial benefits only. Yeah. Just like majority of men are only after women for sexual benefits only. Mm-hmm. But when you find a woman or a man that actually knows what they want, those type of things doesn't buy their attention. So if you have money, great, that's fine. But that's not what I'm trying to get to know. I'm not trying to get to know your pockets. I'm trying to get to know your mind, your heart. And see where you're trying to go, because as a single mom, that's something that I need to do. I can't play games or go back and forth in a relationship. 1 minute we're in a relationship, 1 minute we're not, because I have children. And I can't be in a relationship for 6 months to a year, and then now I'm bringing my children around, and next thing you know, we're not together because you thought that this was something you may have wanted, but it's really not. Gotcha.
That makes sense. All right. Now, I'm serious when I ask you this question. Now, when you meet a nice gentleman, mm-hmm. do you offer him some cookies?
No. I don't offer cookies.
Do you tell him that you be killing it in the kitchen? Do y'all talk about that in the beginning?
Usually my business is one of the conversation starters because
Gotcha,
they
okay.
following me on every social media site that I have.
Okay.
So that's like something that they bring up, like, I'm going to have to get some of your cupcakes or, you know, some of your strawberries. You dope in the kitchen. That's something
You'd be
that's
like, put an order in, bruh.
Yeah, so I always be like, support.
Yeah, for sure. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So really, what's next for the business?
Next for the business, I'm getting ready to work on doing things for kid parties.
Okay.
I've been brainstorming it, getting it ready. I don't want to put it all the way out yet until I have everything finalized.
Makes sense.
However, I love kids. I love doing things with kids, and I believe that this next project that I'm going to do within my bakery will be a great success and a great hit. I've ran it past a few moms, and they loved the idea and concept. The prices were very reasonable for what I'm going to offer, so I think it'll be nice. It's, you know, kind of like a like how adults have the paint and sips.
Yeah.
The kids will have like a decor and sip. So basically, they will be decorating cupcakes. They'll, you know, get a whole package that comes.
Oh, that's
with
nice.
It. So
I like that.
That's something I'm working on right now.
That's what's up. Now, what challenges have you had being an entrepreneur so far?
I would say, one, you deal with a lot of competition. Like I said, I started in 2015. I never imagined being where I'm at right now. I've had a video go viral. So, you know, it's been very great things that have occurred. But the challenges is, you know, not getting a lot of support because people that once were supporting you or were acting as though they were supporting you, they turn around and do the same thing as you sometimes.
Gotcha.
So, it's people you would have never thought that they would have started baking or doing something.
Yeah.
And 1 minute they're sharing your post, and then you notice how it just stops. And then like a month or so later, now they're doing the same things you're doing. Everything you do, they're doing. It's like no originality sometimes.
That makes sense.
And when I got into the baking business, I had my mind set on a certain things that was not being offered.
Right.
As just one specific category.
Yeah.
And then I eventually branched out because customers were asking me to do other things.
Gotcha.
But I just feel that in Cleveland, a lot of times you don't have a lot of people supporting. But I had to get to the point where I didn't care about who. Now at this point, I don't care who don't support me. I just appreciate those that do.
That's right.
I'm still going to, you know, move forward with every different event that I have. I have an event coming up next month, which is my Cupcakes and Cocktails event. This is my first solo business event that I'm doing, but I'm doing it with bakers in Cleveland and with mixologists in Cleveland because I want to bring unity.
I love it. That's
I don't
nice.
want it to be, oh, I'm doing this so I can't work with you.
Right.
I want us to get together and bounce ideas off each other and work together because you make more money as a team than you do trying to do your own thing.
That's real.
So that's where I'm at with everything.
I think that'd be really nice.
Yes,
I
I'm
wish you the
excited.
best at that. So, what do you think inspires you the most?
My children and my mom.
Okay.
They, you know, drive me to do more. My mind literally goes like all day. Every day I don't go to sleep sometimes till like 1 or 2 in the morning because I'm just up thinking or I'm up working. And just seeing my kids' faces. I don't want them to ever have to want for anything. And so that's what keeps me motivated is that I had a good life growing up, but I want them to have an even better life.
Gotcha.
And they are actually having a great life right now.
That's what's up. With mom's help. So, with everything that you got going on, like, how do you keep going when times get hard?
I pray. I still run back to my mother and be like, Ma, I need you to pray for me. I need you to help me. Me and my mom are like best friends. So whenever I'm down, I definitely talk to God. I kind of encourage myself. I have a few friends that encourage me. And I have certain scriptures that I, you know, remember. So if I'm ever feeling down, I just say those scriptures and definitely stay in church. Sundays, Tuesdays, it definitely keeps me empowered. It keeps me going. And I can't let my children down. So I tell all single moms, if you're having a hard time, if it feels like the world is on your shoulders, just take a minute to yourself. cry it out, pray, write down a plan, and execute it, but don't give up. So that's really how I keep going.
That makes sense, though. What do you think the hardest part has been in life for you so far?
The hardest part is just basically just being a single mom. And it's more so on the just trying to get my career together. Like, my career is great right now, but I feel like if I had more assistance co-parenting wise, it would be much more further, even with my business.
Makes sense.
Before, it used to be like I wouldn't do any events because I'd be like, well, I got the girls, you know. But I just kind of stopped making excuses. Like, this year I just took off. I just did everything because I didn't want to ever seem like I was making my kids, first of all, an excuse for why I'm not doing something. And secondly, I don't want my kids to ever feel like they're a hindrance, because they're not. So I just went for it. You know, if I can do the event, I'll make ways.
Right.
But I think, like I said, just the whole single parenting part of it. Having both families would be great. But they don't, I don't. It's just my family, so we try to keep it together as best we can. But that's really the only struggle that I have.
Yeah, and it's like, speaking to that, it just really sucks that you can't have that. And a lot of other women, Cleveland, even all around the world, experience the same thing. And it's just like, and there's no knock against just men, because women do the same thing as well. But it's just like, you bring a child into this world, although they might take up a lot of your time, prevent you from doing stuff. Like, these are your kids, so this is like literally a part of you. And it's just like to disengage from them because you find other stuff that's more important, or because you got to go to work or whatever. It's just like, it's really not worth it. It's like, we share on social media all the time. It's like, my situation is tough right now, but it's like my wife's at home with the kids doing homeschool and raising a little baby. So it's just like, it's a sacrifice financially, but I feel like it's just so worth it.
When you have two people together in the household, you can kind of make things work better, you know. And eventually, one day, I'll have that. But for now, I just work with what I have. Exactly. You got to do what you got to do. Do what I have to do. Exactly. So, it works, you know, now. And until, my husband comes along, I'm just going to do what I have to do. So I don't make it an excuse. I kind of work around my family schedule. I try to keep a planner so that I'm not overbooking, or I don't, have it to where I'm not able to have anyone grab my children. Because, life still goes on. You still have to get things done. Love my children to death, and my thing is, if I could do something different, I probably would have gotten married first before I had children.
Makes sense, me too.
Just because, at least that family unit is there. You can kind of set some boundaries and set some type of teamwork into place. But when you're single, because to me, even if you're a boyfriend and girlfriend, to me, you're still single.
That's real.
But when you're in a marriage, you're good. But when you're single, it's different, because people can up and go when they're married too, but it's more so popular when there's two people that aren't in a joint union together. So
I agree.
That's just one thing. But other than that, everything's great.
That's what's up. All right, so last question before we get out of here. What do you have in your life that really makes you come alive?
My girls.
Okay. That's what's up.
My girls, they, like I said, they motivate me. They push me. If I'm down, they do something funny in the moment that just makes me crack up, or if I'm having a frustrating day, I can just look over at them and they're doing something or interacting with each other, and it makes me like, okay, I can't sit here, I gotta get up, I gotta get moving. To see them happy about the different things that I'm doing, that really drives me. So that's what makes me come alive.
I get it. All right, so any last words for the people?
I just want to say, if you're a single mother, please don't give up. continue to do what God has called you to do. And if that's just being a mom, be a mom. If that's being a mom and a business owner, do both. Follow your dreams. If it's going to school to further your career, do that also. But don't ever let life keep you down. Don't ever doubt yourself. Don't ever feel like you're not good enough. You can and will make it.
Awesome. Well, Cashe, I really appreciate your time and being on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Be blessed, everybody. Manny Hall Show. We out.